seconds, just trying to kind of feel what muscles get him there. Pull it back. And when he's getting at those end ranges, just kind of squeezing. So here's going to be obviously kind of mid, lower traps, kind of some of the external rotators of the shoulder joint. Hold for about 5 seconds. That's the idea is we're training upper body. Just want his scapula to get moving. The muscles that move really get to those end ranges and get some good contractions. Using his shoulder joint, his GH joint a lot. So want those getting to the end ranges, getting some good contractions there. So again, the idea is the more we explore those end ranges, that actually helps Dave stay relatively flexible, actually training there and going there as opposed to just going to those positions and forcing a stretch. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. One more each way. The best thing for getting warm is contractions. So as he gets more muscles contracting, his body's going to get prepped and ready to actually produce bigger, stronger contractions. One, we're going to use the band to make the exercise when we actually get to work a little bit more efficient, but also really quick, easy warm up. Again, all your big stuff on the front of your body is working when you're pressing here. So a lot of upper chest, a lot of front delt, a little bit of triceps. So we're using everything that's in opposition of those muscles. All that stuff needs to be active and warm. Again, more for injury prevention, but also so it can produce good contractions when we start too. So basically when he's pulling the bar down as far and as hard as he can, squeezing upper back, mid-upper traps, rhomboids, rear delts, biceps, even a little bit of a pull there too. And again, getting some good hard contractions where it's the hardest spot. This is also the best way to determine your range of motion. Let's go one more. So however hard you can pull it down, that's all the lower you'd want to go during the exercise anyway. So he sees maybe a ½ an inch off of his chest. So even if he has a bunch of weight on there, you wouldn't want to pull any lower than that. And then this one last, external rotation. And when he's back, lightly press into my hand. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And turn the rotate. 4, 3, 2, 1. Sweet. I'll do the row next. Squeeze. Good. So first couple of warm-up sets. We got the seat, most people on rows need the seat set higher rather than lower. So when he's here, you can see his forearms right in line with the handles or the pull of the machine. A lot of people, if you sit up too, or you sit too low, you're gonna get kind of this bicep flexy thing where it's a lot more biceps and less back. From there, focus is on upper back and lats. So all this pulls his upper arm down first and then pulling those shoulder blades hard together. And the best cue I always give people here is feel like you're kind of wrapping your elbows around your back to finish the motion. So he lets everything kind of go forward, protract, open up, drive down, keeping those elbows in nice and tight. And so this is a lot of lat focus. You see his arm staying right in line with the pull of the machine. If it was starting to flare out at all, might be a little bit more for upper back. But this is kind of a little bit of everything. So a lot of lats, upper back as well too. Drive down in, hard squeeze. Good, let's go 2 more like that.
Call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation.
So 2 things here is with converging, you can actually get your bicep a little bit further across, so get that pec a little bit more shortened and contracted. So that same cue helps even more here with driving your bicep into the side of the chest to make sure you get everything out of the machine and don't miss that last contraction pushing it forward. And then big thing here is alignment. So if you look at his forearm relative to the pec line, stays right in line with kind of his outer lower pec. And right when he's at the bottom, the handles are about lower pec height as well too. Good. So every machine's obviously a little bit different. So for you guys using a different machine, just take a little time to mess around. So again, always setting a big arch, and then just adjust the seat height so that again, your hands, your forearm, your upper arm are moving kind of all in line with that outer lower pec. So even though it's kind of a flat machine press, we're kind of making it almost like a slight decline motion, lining up a little bit more with kind of lower pec line and a little bit of that arch in the back, and chest up does that. And so biggest thing for pull downs here, guys, is what moves first. So we let the shoulders stretch up, and then this pulls down first. So it's not a bicep curl from the top. It's all of this stuff. It's lats, even lower traps a little bit, pulling that upper arm, pulling that shoulder blade down, and making sure that, again, the contraction's coming from there and not from your arm. Again, every machine's a little bit different, but you always want to opt for something a little bit more like shoulder width. Again, the closer you get, the less range of motion you can have. So shoulder width will allow you to get a full stretch and let that arm come pretty close to the side as well too. And then there from alignment, you just want everything staying in a pretty straight line the whole time. So from upper arm, lower arm, right in line with the pull of the machine, not letting the elbow flare out. So if the elbow is flaring out a little bit more, it's going to tend to be a little bit more kind of rear delt, upper back stuff, and a little bit less lats. Good, Dave. Two more. Nice stretch, so let the shoulders elevate fully at the top. Hard pull down, lats mid back. Good.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top. Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You better wake up for the pay stub, or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game, bruh. Fuck.
Alright guys, so we got him doing this motion, kind of like a close grip pressing motion. The beauty of this bar is most people don't have the range of motion to fully pronate their grip without their elbows flaring. So close grip bench press can be a great exercise, but most people, their wrist doesn't go where it should, so the elbow doesn't go where it should. So it tends to wreck everything on the way up. It can wreck your elbows, it can wreck your shoulders. This bar tends to be a lot more comfortable for most people. The neutral grip allows the elbow to stay right below, tuck right at the side. So one, very, very joint friendly. It's a great exercise. This is really working front delts, triceps, and chest to a certain extent. And the idea of the change is the same as the first exercise with the chest press, is you're stronger at the top. So as those chains rest on the ground at the bottom, the weight is lighter. And as you come to the finish, it gets heavier at the top. Go two more, Dave. And so it's really good for triceps as well too, where as you're finishing really a lot with elbow extension, the load gets heavier. Whereas if you just did the weight of a barbell, it's really the hardest at the bottom. It's a lot more of a front delt exercise. Good. So those chains making it heavier as you come to the top really keep a lot more on the triceps than maybe you would just a normal bar. So next we got him doing a lateral raise variation. So one of my favorite ones, and especially obviously for what we're looking for, Dave. For everything, it's the superhero look. So really, really good V-taper, broad shoulders. And I don't think there's a better exercise for add meat to the sides of your delt, side of your shoulders. So the benefit here compared to a normal dumbbell raise, one, just lying down, it keeps you honest. So it keeps your form very strict. You can't rock, you can't use your body or anything, your hips, your back, or anything to move the weight. The only thing that can move the weight is going to be your shoulders. And the other benefit here is at the bottom, because we're using a cable, and that cable doesn't line right up with the shoulder joint, it's heavy at the bottom and gets a little lighter as you come to the top, which is the way your shoulder can kind of produce strength, is you're stronger down here and a little weaker at the top. Whereas a dumbbell is the opposite. When you have a dumbbell at the bottom, it's cake. There's basically no torque at the shoulder joint, no load, and it basically just gets really, really heavy to where you're weakest. So just a really, really all-around good exercise. You can adjust the cable height to basically make sure it lines up well with your body. And then again, it's one of those things where for me, for building muscle, it's about everything else staying still while only the trained joint is moving. So you can see on this, everything else is locked in stone. Great cues here are driving the hands wide. So he's trying to touch the hands to the walls, not thinking so much up. Or if he tried to get his hands as high as he possibly could towards me, eventually might end up shrugging. And same as every other exercise, as we kind of work through our warm-up sets, always leaving some in the tank. So again, we're pretty late in the workout, so it's still gonna be hard, still obviously gonna feel it a lot, but you're leaving some as there we work up to our top sets, our heaviest sets. And the advantage of the cuffs, if anyone's ever done this, just holding onto a handle, eventually your grip really starts to fatigue. So this kind of takes the wrist joint out of it, not as much tension on the wrist, not as much grip involvement, and again, it can keep all the load basically just on the shoulder. So basically what we're doing here is just, this bench is kind of like a modified preacher bench, so a really sweet custom built bench that we have. So the advantage here, same as with a normal preacher curl, is it keeps your upper arm locked in stone. So like I said, it keeps it strict, it keeps it honest. You see the only thing moving is this elbow joint and the lower arm. So the only thing that can be working is the elbow flexors, mainly the bicep. The other advantage here is he's got something for the whole rest of his upper body to press into. So his upper back supported, whole rest of his body's locked in stone. So when you're doing a normal preacher curl, your upper arm's locked in stone, but you don't have your scapula, your upper back stable or as stable as you do here. So this is just one more thing to help you push into, keep everything braced and strict, and get as much output as possible just from the bicep. So again, the thing that Dave makes look easy here is how still everything is. If you ever see somebody that's using way too much weight and using everything but their biceps, everything but their elbow joint is moving. So you see people curling where literally they're coming up on their toes, their knees are bending, their hips are moving, their shoulders moving. So again, you just make the argument they're using way more joints and way more muscles, where here everything is completely still. So the two best cues I give here is just keeping that upper arm pressed flush into that pad. None of this ever moves, he never loses any contact here. And as he's coming to the top, just thinking about getting that forearm jammed right into the bicep. Some people even do like this wrist curl thing to try and get the dumbbell higher. And again, if we're trying to train biceps, really just think about forearm into the bicep. Hard squeeze at the top. And same as every exercise, you have a lot of control, especially at the end ranges. There's never any bouncing from the bottom, never bouncing at the top. Got one more. And one, that makes it harder on the muscle, but two, really, really lowers your risk for injury, especially while training to the point where it's almost near impossible. Sweet.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it.
Squeeze, little hole, perfect. So everyone's gonna see Dave's glorious ab routine. Whenever you see somebody with like an 8-pack like Dave, well, most of the time, depending on how much he's eating. Whenever you see someone with like abs like Dave, everyone assumes they're doing 12,000 sit-ups a day. Where the reality is 99% of abs are Dave just staying lean and then just having enough muscle for them to show. So same as every other exercise, well-controlled, full range of motion is pretty much what it's all about. And then from there, you don't need a ton. So you see, we got a little pad under his back, which just lets him get to full spinal extension. And then he's just crunching up as much as he can get into spinal flexion. So all that means he's trying to bring the base of his ribs, where his abs attach, as close to his hips as he can. And same as everything else. Just 2 more, Dave. You see the hips don't move an inch, and all the motion is from his spine. So his abs just pull his rib cage up, again, literally this point, closer to this point. And that's all that your rectus abdominis, the visible six-pack muscles, really do. And again, most people just crank through those super duper fast, use a lot of hip flexors, they bend a lot at the hips, things like that. But if you really isolate that motion, you do not need a lot. So most people, if you start with just a crunch like that, is a good way to get enough muscle for your abs to show if you're not fat. And then hanging ab raises, I like these as well. These are, I'd say, a little bit more advanced, a little bit of a tougher motion, just because you have more weight to move. So the other ones, you're moving your ribs closer to your hips. This one, you're moving your hips closer to your ribs. And again, you really just want to think about moving your pelvis, not about flexing your legs a whole lot. So really short motion for most people. Again, if you imagined your pelvis was a bowl of water, basically you're just tipping it back, and you're keeping it tight as it tips forward, and then tipping it back, hard squeeze. And same thing, all that he's doing is bringing the top of his hips closer to the bottom of his ribs. And you can see from here, this is what's moving his spine. So basically arches, extends here, and then rounds and pulls under, hard squeeze. 2 more, Dave. Hard squeeze. And 1 more. So they're technically called leg raises, but you're really not raising your legs, you're just moving your hips. Again, your abs don't attach to your legs, they can't move your legs, but they can move your hips, which your legs attach to, so they will move a little bit. When people really raise their legs up a lot, if the goal is to train hip flexors, the muscle that moves your legs, that's fine. But if the goal is to train the abs, then you just want to isolate your pelvis moving as much as possible. And that's literally going to be the whole ab workout, just one of each. And honestly, when we progress and we do more, I'm a big fan of frequency more than a lot. So literally, if Dave does this at most, maybe like every other workout, then that's more than enough to keep his abs looking the way that they need to. If he stays nice and lean, they're really going to show.